Three. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Tammy. I'm the Siberian Wind, and joining me tonight, again, as always, and always welcome, is Cathy from My Hobby Home. So, guys, make sure to say hi to her as well. So, I see Melina and Judy and Linda and Dawn in the chat. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hi, Chloe. Welcome in. Glad you're here as well. This is, if you are not familiar with my channel, this is Land That I Love. We are both working on our Land That I Love quilts, and we are nearing the end. Can you believe it, Cathy?
No, I cannot believe it.
We literally have, after this week is done, after we hit end on this stream tonight, we have 3 more to go. Just 3 more lives on this stream. So
Yes.
don't panic if you like watching the two of us together. You will see us back together again, and with Alicia from Quilty Bird Piecing joining us starting in September. So more details will be coming out about that soon. Please don't turn away too far, because we want you back. Hi, Rena. Welcome in. Let's see. Linda says she is working on some more disappearing 4-patch blocks, and she says hello to Cathy. And let's
Hello,
see.
hello.
And that's the only one telling us what they're working on. Welcome in, Stella. Glad you're here. So glad you're here. So very, very glad you're here. So tonight I am working on the Daisy Star block. I think you've done this one, Cathy. It is on page 26. Which one are you working on? I know, putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I am working on the ladies wreath block.
Ooh.
It's on page 51. Which one are you doing?
Uh,
Daisy. Yes,
Daisy
that is
Star.
Daisy Star.
Yeah.
I'm
Ladies,
trying to get my chat to come up and it's wanting to be difficult. So,
we are all doing the technical difficulties thing today, believe me.
yes.
Oh, I want to say I've done that ladies wreath block, but I don't
I thought I
know.
had done that one. And I
Yeah,
even looked at all of these behind me. And it is not. I don't have it in there. I'm trying to see
I
if I
don't
can
think
get this to load.
I feel like
Uh,
I should have done that one, but I don't think I have. So I may be doing that one on my next one.
See,
Chloe,
I thought I had already done it because it's only two colors, but I'm
yeah,
guessing I probably didn't do it because it looked like flying geese.
true. I understand that.
So,
Chloe says she is working on her front porch quilt. She finished her fan blocks. Yay! Now she has to lay out the blocks and sew it up. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to silence my phone, guys. And Rena
I,
says that she's finishing her summer blouse for her ASG meeting tomorrow night. Oh, I would love to see that, Rena. If you're not a member
oh,
of, yeah, if you're not a member of the Facebook group for my channel, feel free to come join that group. And Nightbot
oh,
should be putting the link in there for you, so we can see that. And if you put so and tell, then I can share it out to the whole world on the first Tuesday of the whatever month after you post it, and share your progress. I like to see that inspiration. I think, let's see, Judy has a question for you. How are you doing, Cathy?
yes. I am getting better. My brain is still not working right. Not today, anyway. I was just looking at this. I noticed that you can see my table. Oh, well,
It's
maybe I can
okay.
keep everything hidden enough that you don't see measurement. I
Yeah,
am actually doing a lot better than I was a week ago when I got out of surgery. I did release a video today with all
she
my
did.
post-op stuff in it. So, I'm doing well overall. Walking is a task, but I can walk.
That is good news. That is very good
Yes.
news. Walking is kind of important for those of us with legs that are
Yeah.
able to do it. Otherwise, those whole wheel things, I've got one of those wheel things, and I got a couple of wheel things, but it's
Well,
sometimes so
it
much
was so
easier to just
strange
walk.
that the doctor had told my family that I was going to be coming home with a walker, and I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah. My
I thought
family,
that was Very
God.
strange.
My family thought I was coming home with crutches after my hip surgery, and I came home with a walker instead. Welcome in, Ollie. He says, "Woo!
Yeah.
Look at those backgrounds. Sure is coming along. Yes,
Oh,
it is." And he says, "Good to hear, Cathy." Right?
yes, it's good to be back. Y'all, I tried last time. I really wanted to show up and
She was messaging me, guys. She totally was messaging me, going, "I think I'll be able to make it. I just won't sew. I'll just come and chat." I said, "Okay. You're supposed to be resting." She said, "A nap really does sound good. I might try to nap." I was like, "Please do." Welcome in,
yeah,
Linda. Glad you're here. Chloe
I
says
was highly medicated last
she
Thursday.
was. She is hilarious when she's highly medicated, guys, just in case you wanted to know.
And yeah, I went and I saw some of the posts I made, and I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I put that out there. Y'all saw my
Right?
suntan I got, right? Oh my goodness, I could not believe I put that out there. I'm like, I put a picture of my leg out there. Oh, that's funny.
I loved your tan. I thought it was hilarious.
I had a beautiful orange
It was
tan.
it was gorgeous. It washes off too easily though. They really need to do the
And
right. They need to figure out
I
the
don't
spray
know,
tan right.
I still have not gotten it all off of my leg. I told my husband, I'm like, you're gonna have to come get this off because I'm tired of it. It's streaky but I'm scared of him helping though because he does not have a soft touch
Oh
with things
yeah.
like that. And I'm afraid he would push too hard on my leg and yeah, that would be a no go.
Well, they tell us women when we're having babies to have our partner in there with us and to squeeze their hand. Well, I almost broke my partner's hand when I was in labor. I definitely left marks. So, you could have just like squeezed, like chosen a body part and just started squeezing if he was, too rough with your leg.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I said some nasty words
Oh,
because
goodness.
yeah,
Not you.
it, it well, he was trying to help me put a pillow under my leg,
Uh huh.
and, he picked my foot up and lifted my leg by my foot.
Oh, gosh.
I'm guessing he didn't realize there was a bone that connected my foot to my knee.
Oh, my gosh.
And yeah,
Hi, Pam. Welcome in. Glad you're here.
okay.
So glad you're here.
So yeah, that will make you say a few choice words.
Let's see. Pam says, Cathy saw your surgery update. Glad you're making progress even though it's slow.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it is
Absolutely
very,
agreed.
very, very slow. But it could be worse. I have to keep looking at it like that. It could be a lot worse.
Well, you're only in a race against yourself. You're not in a race against anyone else on this one.
No, but I do have to go back to work. So,
Bah humbug to work. No, I'm just kidding.
well, and the guy that told me, oh, you'll be good to go in 3 days. Oh yeah, I talked to him yesterday.
Oops.
Had to go up and approve my time because for some reason it wasn't letting me do it from my house. It was not authenticating my password.
Oh
And
gosh.
yeah, that's a big O thing that we have to certify our time with the state. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I already told you what I work. Why don't you just take it and run with it? But they don't.
No,
They won't do that.
it is government. Your knee is not
And
even good enough for government work right now.
so what I did, I went up there. I drove. That was on Wednesday. So yeah, I
Okay.
went yesterday. So I drove, and yeah, my brain is still not 100%
Hmm.
right. It takes me a long time right now to think of words and to think of situations and things. So just bear with me. I can't tell you anything else other than just bear with me because,
We're just gonna laugh with you when you're ready to laugh. How's that sound?
that sounds good to me. But I asked him, I'm like, why did you tell me I'd be good to go in 3 days? Because literally the only thing I could do was walk on my tiptoe. I couldn't step back on my heel because that hurt too bad. And he's
Oh.
like, well, I couldn't step on my tiptoe. And I'm like, well, I guess we had, and I don't think we had the same surgeon, but we had the same hospital.
Ooh.
And I'm going to tell y'all, that hospital, they were phenomenal.
Hi, Rita. Glad you're here.
Hey, Rita, how are you doing? I
So glad
missed
you
y'all
made it.
last night. I wanted to come on the live last night with y'all, but I decided I needed to sleep.
Okay, so I have to ask, Rita, since you were there and I wasn't because I didn't make it last night. Um, did Jess ask William about the camel? Just I'm just throwing that out there before I say anything else about a camel. Did Jess ask William about the camel? Hi, Marlene. Welcome in.
Hi, Marlene.
So glad you're
How are you
here.
doing?
I'll explain the camel in a minute. Ollie is asking Rita if she is still getting pan fried. Ooh, that sounds like an interesting inside conversation. She did ask him about the camel. Oh, fantastic.
Oh,
Now,
my goodness.
now I've got to know what she asked him. Was it does he want a camel or is he allowed to have a camel? Like what did she ask him? Because I gotta know. Oh, went from talking camels to pineapples. Oh, that's a
Oh,
unique.
no.
That is not the twist I was expecting to hear. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
now I hate that I missed it because I feel like I missed something last
Oh,
night.
oh, I'll explain this one in a minute. I'll explain this one. I just got to know what was said before I explain why it was said. Oh. Yes, he wants a camel, but does not know if he can have one. Okay, because she texted me that he can have one. Okay, so here's the deal.
I wouldn't want a camel. Them things spit. They're mean.
They do, but they're adorable. They're absolutely adorable. So at our rodeo last night, I don't know where this camel lives normally, but I haven't seen a camel brought to any of the previous rodeos. And it would have been to the Central Wyoming Fair and Rodeo, not to the College National Finals Rodeo. But so they camel to go with emu and hairless cat. Oh my gosh! No, I don't want the emu and the hairless cat. That's somebody else's pet. The cam
Oh,
the
in the
camel would be
neighbor they
mine.
had hairless cat.
Yeah, my aunt has a couple of hairless cats. It's Scarlett O'Hara and Charlie Nohara. Is what she's named them. But yes, there was a camel, guys, and not only did it come in and the rodeo clown had his leash or whatever that was attached to his snout harness, whatever. Um, he let go of the leash for a little bit, and the camel laid on the ground and proceeded to roll over like it was a dog. And Paladin does the exact same thing on the jelly roll rug that I made. And it just reminded me of Paladin. It's a bigger version of Paladin.
Oh God.
So if
A
Jess is good,
much bigger version of Paladin.
yes. So if Jess can have the hairless or the Highland cow, I can have a camel. So I need to
Oh,
figure out having the camel. So if William can have the Highland cow, he can also have the camel, so I can go visit because I gotta go see the camel.
I can have anything here except for exotic animals.
Well, would a camel be considered exotic animals?
No, they mean like lions and things like that.
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
I can have, well, we got bears already, so I don't want one of them as a pet. We have mountain cat. Well,
Oh yeah, mountain lions, yeah.
People say that Louisiana does not have them, but we have had a Black Panther
Ooh,
photo in our area.
yeah.
So I don't know if it's like a climate change thing that's pushing them down or what. And guys, I just noticed y'all got my light up here. I'm sorry.
Eh, I think I think they're fine. I think they know
Yeah.
that it's all
It,
right. Rita says that it's
it,
5 p.m. in Arizona and 116 degrees,
oh,
and that has cooled off 6 degrees. I'm good. You can have it, Rita.
oh my gracious.
And Judy says that we all need a big backyard. Well, see, that's why I want William to have my camel. He can hang on to it and take care of it for me so I can come visit. I'm going to be a little bougie on this one. I'm going to be
The only thing, the only thing I would want is like the lions.
I
That's
don't want a lion.
that's I would want a big cat. That's the only thing I would want.
I am not a big cat person. I would actually probably I would get a wolf before I would get a lion. I would get an
Oh, my aunt has a
actual,
wolf.
yeah.
My aunt has a wolf.
Yeah, I would get an actual wolf before I got
Yeah.
a lion.
My aunt, when she lived in New Mexico, she lived in Hobbs, New Mexico,
Uh huh.
and when she moved back, she came back with her wolf.
Gotcha. Wolves
So,
are illegal to own in a lot of states.
well, hers had to be registered. So I don't know
Yeah,
if maybe that
she may
had
have
something to do with it.
she may have chosen to register it as a different breed of animal so that it didn't, or like a different breed of dog. That way she could get past it. Let's see. Rena
Rena,
says,
Dolly, I'm
yeah.
with you. I'm a cat person too. I love cats. And I have in the house 4, outside 2, and however many show up at my house.
Ollie's got, he says he was a big cat person, a 25-pound tabby. Oh my gosh. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. I'm not, I used to have cats. I used to. Um, just noticed there's dust on my microphone, on the base of it. Somebody better be big time rich to pay for the feed for those big animals. Well, see, that's why we're all counting on William. We're just counting on him to make the big bucks and help us out, right? We're just it's our pipe dreams, and he's our outlet for our pipe dreams. um, I will never probably ever own a camel. I can't even ride a horse yet. I've never been on a horse. So, like, every time I watch the rodeo, though, I do want to get on a horse so bad. I so want to get on a horse and, learn to ride like
I
some of
love
these people
riding. I
can.
love riding horses,
Oh,
but I haven't done it a lot in my adult years.
yeah, I have never actually been on the back of a horse at all. Um, I was always one of those chunky kids growing up, and so I was discouraged from doing any kind of horseback riding because that wouldn't be good for the horse. Or whenever they brought like ponies for birthday parties or something, because there's always a bougie kid whose parents bring in the pony or that dresses up like a unicorn for their birthday party. Or at least in the 90s there was. But
Now, obviously, I don't know.
well, I
We
was
had we had we had a bunch of drunk rednecks that weighed about 300-400 pounds on horses. I think a chunky kid could ride a horse,
well,
like a drunk
I would have
cowboy kid.
I would have thought so too, but that was what I was always told. And I don't know if I was told that because maybe my parents were scared of me getting on a horse and getting hurt,
That was
or
probably
or
that was
did
probably more it.
or they didn't want me to get attached to getting on a horse because it's not an activity they could afford to support. There's all kinds of possible reasons. So, but I've never been on a horse ever. Rita says 25 pounds. One of her cats is only 42. Nope, not a Maine Coon. Her Maine Coon weighs 32. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was going to say Maine Coons are normally pretty heavy.
They are. My my little Irish Emily that I had, my little calico that I had in college, she, I think at her highest, weighed maybe 11 pounds. Like she was never, I mean, that was at her heaviest. Um, but she was never a big cat. Like she was always very petite.
I
Uh,
think most calicos, if they're true calicos, are pretty light
yeah,
because
she,
I have, and a lot of people think that just a three-colored cat is a calico. It's not. And most calico, well, all calicos are females.
most. There are a few rare male calicos.
Not true. True calicos are all females. Now, you can have cats that have three colors that are not calicos
Hmm.
because most of them, if you'll notice, if it's a calico, but it's a merle calico, that it's probably a boy.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Rita says her cats are bigger than her little dogs. The big dogs always get swatted by the cats. Melina says, exactly, Kathy. Big grown heavy men ride horses. Yes, they do. And then 11 pounds, goodness, I do not think I've ever owned that small of a cat, right, Rita? I mean, she was tiny, guys. Like, she was so stinking tiny. I mean, you pick her up and you feel like you'd break her because she was that small. Um, but she was a ferocious cat. She could defend her ground.
Yeah, calicos are mean.
Oh, she wasn't mean.
Not
She
not
was just,
really mean.
yeah,
Not really mean because I have a calico right now and she's like real sweet to us.
yeah.
But if something comes in her territory that she don't want in her territory, she gets mean.
She refused to accept my dog. The first dog I got, she refused to accept him. She was not a dog cat. There's like only one out of maybe 3,000 plus cats who are calico that are born males, according to Rita.
Okay.
I, yeah, I mean, it's incredibly rare to have a male calico, but I thought they do
Yeah.
exist.
Well, and what my vet has told me because I asked him about that because I had a calico that I thought was a calico, and he said a true calico is not a merle. A merle is where you have two colors that are mixed,
Oh, yeah.
two or more colors that are mixed. A true calico has white and then the yellow and the black. That's a true calico. That's true calico colors. There's no mixing of the colors. That
Yeah.
anyway, that's what my vet told me anyway. And I've had a total of three true calicos.
Yeah. Yeah, the male, I think you're right, Rita. She says the male calicos are usually sterile. Well, it's it's that calico is a recessive,
Yeah.
just like blue eyes in dogs is a recessive trait.
Mm.
Um, so only certain breeds tend to have them. Oh my goodness! Please stop! Please stop, bud. Thank you. Uh, he's over here licking, in case you guys are wondering. And I know none of y'all can hear him, but I can hear him. And it's just enough to catch my attention. The smallest cat I ever had, says Rita, was a tortoiseshell. She weighed 15 pounds and she was mean. Yeah. Sometimes the meaner the cat, or the smaller the cat, the meaner they have to be to defend themselves. Um, but Emily wasn't mean. She she knew how to set her territory before anybody trampled on it. Like it wasn't, there was no like question that this is what Emily chose kind of deal. I almost got one of her
She
brothers.
let them know up front that she was the top person in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah. I almost got one of her brothers and he was a tuxedo. I loved his colorings too. But she was the
Yeah.
first one that caught my eye. And yeah, so she was the one I took home. Judy had a tortoise shell that was, and that cat was evil, last cat she ever had. So Emily and Garfield, obviously an orange tabby, were the last two that I had. They, well, I'll take that back. if you want to count outdoor cats, Simon and Blue were the last two cats I had, both male cats.
That is so funny that you had a Simon and a. I had a Simon and a Blue.
So Simon, we named him Simon, and every apartment named this cat a different name. Like he was the neighborhood cat at the apartment complex I was living at. So everybody would put food out for him, and so he'd just go around, getting all the food. Hi, Jess, welcome in. We were just talking about you.
Jess?
But so Simon would go around and get food from everybody, and so everybody had their own name for him. Well, we named him Simon because if you've ever played that Simon Says game from back, when I was growing up, like 80s and 90s, where you tapped the color after the game showed the color, in whatever pattern and order and all of that you had to do, like Simon Says. Well, this cat, if you said anything to him, it didn't matter if you said hello, it didn't matter if you said goodbye, it didn't matter if you said hi, kitty. It did not matter. He talked to you. You said anything, and that cat talked back. So you said, hello and meow. What do you want? Meow. I mean, like just every moment was, another meow. So what we basically did is we named him Simon for Simon Says. And then Simon liked us, apparently the best, which was awesome. And he started bringing Blue around. Blue was a little Siamese tabby mix that was just a little baby kitten when he first started coming around. I mean, just the babiest little kitten. But Simon brought him around and trusted us with him. He didn't take him to anybody else except for us. So when we moved, we made sure that Simon and Blue both had homes with my mom, because she has a lot of outdoor cats. And Blue still is hanging around. Don't know what happened to Simon, but Blue is still hanging around. Let's see, everybody's saying hi. Rita says she named her tortoiseshell cat Oscar. I had an Oscar too.
I have an Oscar right now.
My Oscar was also a Siamese tabby mix, very much like Blue, also with the blue eyes and with the Siamese meow, with the R and the meow. And Oscar played fetch. He did not have any influence from any dogs. We got him as a kitten, and he played fetch. But let's see. Okay, so her Oscar was a female. She was mean, but she was a great mama. Was feral at one time, then got her sterilized. She was a great cat, though. Awesome. Yeah, Oscar was a really great cat. Mom wouldn't let me bring him with me to college because she basically fell in love with Oscar, and Oscar was the house cat. And, Dad actually, Oscar would actually come up and greet Dad. So, I wasn't allowed to take Oscar away. That was just not going to happen. So Oscar stayed with my parents. And that's how I ended up with Emily, because I wanted another cat. So my very first cat was named Sasha, and I think she came with that name, but she was solid black, and she was the meanest cat I've ever owned. By far. I mean, just absolutely mean. Okay, Jess says, Ollie, check Discord. Marlene says the earliest cat she remembers in her lifetime was a tabby. Our very good family friends had a tabby named Pete who passed away recently, so my brother named our new tabby Repeat. Oh, that's adorable. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome in. Glad you're here. Glad you made it. Yeah, my mom had Charlie. He was a tomcat, and she got us kittens, and mine was Rosie. My brother's was RC after the cola. And Charlie decided to teach our kittens how to hunt. So Charlie would bring things home as gifts. that we're not completely dead for our kittens to learn to
Oh.
hunt. Mom was not impressed. I don't know
I
why.
bet you would.
Yeah, I don't know why, but she was not impressed. They ended up not making it to our new home. Um, just during all the moving and all of that, they just got out and got lost and all of that. So it was kind of sad, but we ended up getting cats later on. Uh, Rita wants another Celtic ragdoll Siamese. Ooh, it sounds pretty, and it sounds pretty expensive.
Yeah, rag dolls are beautiful.
They are. I like that when you pick them up, they just fall. They just melt in your arms. My only problem with them is because they're so expensive. I would just, I would be so hesitant that something could go wrong with them at any moment.
Yeah.
I'm not the one for an expensive animal, if that makes sense. Of course, here I
One
am looking
time
at a
I had
Pyrenees.
almost, yeah, one time I had almost gotten one of the Munchkin cats.
Oh,
It
okay,
was
yeah.
it was actually in our shelter, but it was so mean. It was not friendly at all. And normally I can, even a cat that is scared and, normally I can
Yeah, talk them
get it.
down.
Yeah, normally I can get it to let me pet it or something like that. Because I mean, I've had cats my whole life. I mean, I
Yeah.
I swear I think I came out of the womb with a cat because I've always had cats. My very first cat was an Arkansas mountain cat. I got
Okay.
it as a kitten because its mama had gotten killed,
Oh no.
and my papaw had told me I had one of those Arkansas papaws that tread dirt, sit on the porch, no running water outhouse kind of papaws,
Yeah.
hillbillies. And he told me if I could catch one, I could have one. I got out there and I caught me one. And that was in the hills of Arkansas.
Yep.
And I dare say it might have been deliverance country even. I I don't know because that papa he passed away when I was like real young. He passed away when I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But my mama and my daddy let me have that cat. That cat was bigger than I was tall. Like when he laid down and stretched out, he would cross over a twin size bed with his paws and feet hanging out on both sides.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he told on me too. He was a tattletale.
Rita says that the Celtic ragdoll Siamese are high maintenance cats. Yeah, that immediately gets me out.
I
Not just the
bet
fact
they
that it's a
are.
cat. And I'm so far removed from having had cats lately. I haven't had cats since '09. It's been a while. I went into 2010 with
I have finished my block. Woo.
that's awesome. I am almost there. You were chugging away a lot faster than I thought you were.
Well, I had my house square frame cut down already
Oh.
because my brain is not working, and y'all don't know how many times I cut the fabric out to do this. I
uh,
probably wasted about an eighth of a yard of fabric
oh.
trying. Yeah, I'm telling you, today it's not clicking right. It's just not clicking right.
Well,
I was kind of, I was actually kind of scared to sew today because I was like, if it's not clicking right,
yeah.
today may not be a good day to sew. But no, I've got too much sewing I want to do, and I'm going to go on and put mine on
On your row?
my row. Yeah, I'm going to go on and put it on my row here.
Well, I can do that as well. This is mine.
I love that block for some. Can you just say a bunch of those put together?
Yep.
what that would look like. Just it don't even sash them. Just put them edge to edge together.
Uh-huh. Hi, Pat. Welcome in.
Hello,
Um,
Pat.
so mine's stripes, but I did manage to make sure that all the stripes were going to go the same directions. Even though they don't
Yeah,
line up, they still go the same
I didn't
directions.
pay attention to mine. I don't care if mine are going in the same direction or not. Mine didn't stripes though. It's kind of scalloped,
Oh, gotcha.
almost like a tile roof. Uh-oh, Pat's
Yeah,
comment got redacted.
she did that herself.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, she did that herself. Okay, let me see. Let me get all my stuff for my row because it's all out of reach. Because I do that to myself all the time. Let's see. Let me see what all I need for this row. Because I think we're
Yeah,
working on the same row, right?
I think so. I think it's row 13.
I haven't. I should have numbered them. I haven't numbered my rows. Let's see.
It's
Let's,
the row with two of our Thursday blocks on it
and
with
just
only
one.
one red star.
So with only two more rows after that, aside from the triangle at the bottom.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I think that's where we're both at because I've got
Because
the, yeah, that's white star. That's my
it's the
second
one
white star. Okay.
the seventh, yeah, seventh one across the bottom.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Yeah, we are on the same row.
Yeah.
All right. So I made a block last week that was identical or very similar to a block I already had. So I had to choose a different block to make. So that was part of my dilemma for this week was which block do I make? And then let's see. All right, that's my
Well, my
angle.
thing, even if I use the same block, I'll just use different colors or do something different. Because if it's a block I really like,
Uh-huh.
then I wouldn't have a problem making more than one of them.
Yeah. This is it, they're not the identical blocks to each other, but they're so close
Yeah,
that looking at them, it's going to look like they are the same, and I didn't want that. And
yeah.
I did not trim my half square triangles up originally, so
Did
I
you
have.
notice most of the half square triangles have like a fraction of a size?
Oh yeah.
Like they're not a half of an inch or a full inch. They're like a 3/8 or something like that.
Yeah. So I just went ahead and cut large for my half square triangles that I needed for that. But the half square triangles for the setting, I haven't trimmed those. So I've been adjusting as I sew, but I really shouldn't be doing that. So it may take
So
me an
now I
extra.
have to find my red down. I
Oh.
have to talk to myself and go red down for this for this one right here.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause you know
Yep.
how some of them have white on the bottom and some of them have red on the bottom.
I didn't even notice that until today when I was sewing those rows together because I was finally on that side. Yeah, I did not even notice that until, like, I noticed it, I guess, when I was cutting it, but I didn't notice it beyond just cutting it.
Yeah.
So I really should have trimmed all of these instead of like waiting until last minute. But what do? I wait until last minute, guys. In case you were
Well,
wondering.
I had to trim some of my white blocks with the red stars. I had to trim
This?
some of those down. It's
Oh.
like I missed a whole set of them.
Oh, goodness.
I
None of
don't know
mine
how
were.
I did.
Yeah,
Huh?
none of mine were big enough to need to trim down. Mine were like right on the money or just like a hair too close to the money for how close they were. It's kind of disappointing for me. I thought I did something wrong, and no, I really didn't do anything wrong. It's just my quarter inch is a little bit off, apparently, from what Lissa and Susan's were in the book. And they really didn't give you a lot of room to trim down anyway.
No.
So, like everything that you make out of this book, they are expecting you to sew it exactly as they're talking about, and not have any errors in your sewing. And that's a little bit of a
Yeah, I noticed
challenge.
it didn't leave you much room for, you know, a mess up.
No, not any room really at all for a mess up. The chat got so quiet, guys. I think they're all listening to us.
Yeah.
Probably laughing at us, like, both sitting here struggling. Better they're just waiting to see our rows. I am so looking forward
Yeah.
to September. So we will finish that project at the end of August next year.
Okay.
But then, have you been following that I'm going to be issuing out a mystery quilt starting in October?
I saw that.
So that will actually finish up in September, which is also when the in-person retreat is up here in Casper.
Oh.
So those who come to the in-person retreat may get a preview as to the next. Oh, you've already got yours together.
Yeah.
I guess I'm talking too much. Give me a second.
I'm hoping that it's right though, because it may not be right.
Chloe says she's not laughing at us. She's just sewing and putting kids to bed. I understand that. I'm putting words in people's mouths, Chloe. That's all it is. I'm just being a goof. I'm being a goof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It looked right.
Ooh,
So we will
that one.
have. So next week we'll have one more row to put on, and then, oh, July 31st we'll be finishing that last row. Or
We'll be
no,
putting borders on,
yeah,
hopefully.
yeah, July 31st we'll be putting borders on. So we won't skip
So
ahead.
we
We'll just,
only have two more blocks to make,
yeah, yeah. We only have two more
which will
blocks.
be, yeah, two more rows.
Judy says she's sewing a block together and playing with Jack. Yeah. Somebody said that they upgraded. They divorced Jack and started going out with Edward. Um,
Uh,
Edward Scissorhands. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. They divorced Jack and went out with Edward. So I don't remember where I heard that, but I laughed so hard at that. I am not a horror movie person at all, but oh my gosh, I could not stop laughing.
Well, Edward Scissorhands really isn't a horror movie. It's kind of a quirky, romantic
Oh,
love
is it?
story.
Oh,
Yeah.
super weird. Super
Yeah,
weird.
it's a really okay. Have you ever watched that? What's the one about Gilbert Grape?
Mm-mm. I haven't ever watched that either.
Um, it's kind of like in the same genre as that. They're
Okay.
kind of quirky, but they're I don't know. It's good movies. They're cute movies.
Okay. Well, eventually, one of these days, I will catch up to the vast majority of the public and have movies under my belt that the majority of people have seen, but it is not happening tomorrow. I can tell you that much. I am always behind on the movie uptake. Like, I see random movies every so often. We were having this discussion Tuesday night too, because I
Well,
was talking about
well,
TV
growing
shows
up,
and such as
we
well.
didn't get to watch movies growing up, of course, except for in the theater. And my
Mm-hmm.
aunt and uncle, they had no children, and they would always carry us to see age appropriate movies.
Okay.
Like we watched The Rescuers and Zorro and movies like that in the theater. But when they would take us on trips. Now
Uh
I
huh.
know this is going to be really bad. My uncle is a or was. This is the one that passed away in December, almost 2 years ago now. He was a Southern Baptist preacher.
Oh dear.
And he would take us to Bible conventions with them, which we had fun. I mean, it was Bible camp. We had blasts. But of course, where we would go, we'd have to stop like 2 nights to stay somewhere. And he, my my uncle was like a certified scuba diver,
Okay.
and he would love to go swimming. Everywhere we'd go, he'd make sure they had a swimming pool.
Okay.
So while he would go swimming, my aunt would go out there too. She'd go sit in the lounge chair and read her book, and my sister and I would stay in the room and we would watch movies that we shouldn't watch.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha.
I can remember the first movie that I ever watched that I shouldn't have watched. Well, I don't know. Maybe this was when I was much younger. Amityville Horror. My sister watched that. I didn't like horror movies.
Okay.
Hey, Zaza.
Hi, Zaza.
And so the first movie that I ever got to watch that was not age appropriate for us was 16 Candles.
Oh, I don't know. I might have actually finally seen that movie all the way through. It's so boring to me to
Yeah.
start with that I struggle. Um, the first movie that I saw that I wasn't supposed to see was Arachnophobia. Uh, I was in fourth
Oh,
grade. I really should not have seen that movie then. Let's see.
yeah.
Rita says that both of her kids, when they were younger, loved horror movies. Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Pumpkinhead, all great movies. Yeah, I've never been a horror buff. All
I'm
right.
not a horror movie person. All right. So let's see. There's yours.
Uh huh.
I'm trying to find. Okay, this is my bottom.
Yep.
I have to figure out what direction it goes.
Yay. I love that.
There's,
I love that. Hi, Wendy.
there's,
Welcome in. She
it
just finished.
looks like we have the same fabric right here.
Yeah,
Is
it
yours
almost
our
does.
old glory?
It's from Riley Blake. Whatever Riley Blake it is. I don't know. I'd have to look. Zaza says, "Oh, you're just a baby." Sorry. Um, Wendy just finished watching Cathy's health update. Happy you are to see you are feeling better. I'm working on baby quilts. The current one is giving me a headache. Oh no! Put it in timeout and work on a different one. That's what I would do. Let's see. Where is my other block? Okay. So the block that I was worried about putting them right next to each other is this block right here and this block right here. They are just enough different that they're not the same block, but they are so close together in style. So
Yeah, I can see that.
so I put it it's going at the bottom on a different row. Like 3 rows removed.
That's the joy about this. You can always just flip it.
I absolutely. Absolutely. See, Zaza's brothers made her watch Nightmare on Elm Street when she was 9 and they were babysitting her. They never babysat again. I don't blame your parents for that decision.
Okay, Ollie. Now
Oh,
tell me, there was no such thing as age appropriate in your day. So tell us what was your day? I'm a 72 baby. I was born in 72. So
what was that?
what was in your day?
I'm curious now, too.
Well, I say age appropriate now because I would never let my child the age I was watch that.
Yeah.
And my aunt and uncle would have never let us watch that movie, regardless of what age we were.
Yeah.
They would not have allowed it.
Absolutely agree with you, Chloe. Absolutely sending healing wishes to Zaza. I hope you start feeling better sometime soon. Because I know you've not been feeling good at all lately. Ollie saw Jaws at the drive-in. Of course, he lives in Canada, so we have to remember that.
Okay, so I remember when Jaws. Yeah, I am too. I have gone on one cruise. I am terrified of the ocean, but I've gone on one cruise, and I don't know. I like them, but I don't like them. I don't like the fact that I'm in the middle of a big old mud hole that has no bottom to it. That's what I feel like.
I'm not scared of the ocean. Um, I am actually scared of just the randomest of things. Like just absolutely the randomest of things. I'm not scared of the ocean. I'm not scared of flying, but I am, and I'm not scared of heights, but I am absolutely terrified of falling. Like that is the
Yeah.
one thing that terrifies me. I'm fine being up there, but if I start to fall, I immediately go into panic. Marlene says my age six
Oh
and
my
seven girls daycare was next door
God.
neighbor. Had a daughter
Oh
and
my
teenage.
gosh.
Oh my gosh. What
I
a
can
mess,
see them. They were
Marlene. I
terrified.
bet.
Oh
I
my
haven't seen
goodness.
that one, but I've heard the reputation. Oh my
You don't
goodness.
want to watch it. If you don't
No.
like horror movies, do not watch it. It is terrifying.
I am not a horror movie at all. Judy says Jaws made her not go to the beach for a long time. So
Yeah.
the funniest thing is, there's jokes going out all across the internet. The worst name to have for your dog is the word shark, and then go to the beach with your dog and start calling for him. That would terrify a whole heck of a lot of people, and it would be kind of.
That would be hilarious.
I want to be there videotaping it because I'm low key mischievous like that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Chloe. Her dad traumatized her by taking her to Cujo when she was 4. Oh,
Yeah, no.
oh my
Okay,
gosh.
okay, my first husband was a horror movie junkie. My sister is a horror movie junkie. I'm not so much,
Mm,
but I will say that I have watched one horror movie that, well, I don't know. I was kind of Stephen King horror movie.
okay.
Not, yes, I was Stephen King horror, not like some of these others. I watched a horror movie called The Ring.
Okay.
I think that's what it was called. The Ring.
Okay.
That the one with the little girl that comes out the TV? Yeah,
Oh,
girl, I had to unplug
one
my
of them would have to
TV.
answer that.
I had to turn them around backwards. It terrified me so bad. I slept with my lights on. I unplugged my TVs, and I had kids. I was married, and I just could not watch them. And I told my husband then, I was like, we will never. Now, he was a big movie buff person too. He had friends that worked at theaters. We'd get in after hours for like the midnight showings where it
Yeah.
was just the workers that would see them. So when H2O came out, we went and saw that. And y'all know what that is. That's Halloween. The
Well,
H2, or was it H2? H2, not H2O. What?
I don't know.
Yep.
It is the
There you
ring.
go.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't watch that. That one there. Now I'm gonna sleep with my light on tonight.
Oh
That thing
gosh. Oh, we've already
terrified
we,
me.
we've brought it back out. Oh gosh. So here's the
Oh,
funny thing. Here's the really funny thing. Halloween is my favorite holiday, but I am not a horror movie person. So I
yeah, no.
don't. It's the weirdest disconnect in the whole history of humanity because I am a huge fan of Halloween, but not a huge fan of horror, and I don't even go to the haunted houses. Like I don't even go to those because I'm good. I don't need to be scared. I'm good without it.
Yeah. And see, we used to when I was growing up and I was young. We would do a fall festival with our church, and we always had a haunted house, and people always had chainsaws in there. Of course, they didn't have the chain on it, but
Yeah.
they'd have people coming up out of coffins, scaring you to death. But I don't know. The older I've gotten, the more I've realized that some of this stuff could be real, could really happen. And I'm like, oh no,
Yeah,
no.
I am definitely one of those that I don't even bother. Like if I see Zaza was saying she saw a clip for the ring and knew it would freak
Yeah,
her out. I don't even
yeah.
bother.
So
And like Halloween, I haven't even seen the movie Halloween. Like I don't go watch horror movies. I watch stuff like Criminal Minds and um,
yeah.
Law and Order, like
Well,
the more
that's
realistic
not horror
things.
movies. That's a suspense
It
show.
is.
That's
Yeah,
not horror.
I can handle suspense, but I can't handle horror.
Yeah, me neither. Now I can tell you, don't ever go somewhere and stay overnight in a cabin or anything like that and see a VHS movie and pop it in the thing. Don't ever watch it. Just put it right
Oh,
back where you found it. Don't watch it.
so you mean
Leave it there.
I'm not allowed to put you guys in cabins for my retreat up here
Oh,
and
you
have a
can. Just
VHS
don't leave a
player?
VHS in it. Don't leave a VHS in it. No.
Oh, come on, Kathy. I'll do it just
That
for
was
your
part of the
cabin.
ring. That was a part of the ring. That's what happened. The people went on a camping trip or something, and they found a VHS movie,
Uh-huh.
and they popped it in and watched it. And once you watch it, the little girl comes out the TV.
Oh,
No,
oh, oh,
no,
oh.
no.
Rita says her husband went to the store and she was telling him stuff to get along with the new body. He goes, "Stop asking for a new body. Store does have them." Oh, Judy says she won't stay in a cabin. No, if you guys if I have to do cabins, because there's a couple of different places that we can do the quilting retreat. So I'm working on the details of all of that. I'd rather have you guys in a hotel, but the cabin might be an option as well. Depends on just how things play out. But I'm trying to get everything finalized around September this year, so you guys will have a year before you're traveling in to come to the retreat. Um, but yeah, we're not gonna play the scary stuff. I promise. That is not. I can't do the scary stuff. You are not getting the scary stuff. If you want to talk scary stuff with Mr. Siberian Wind while you're here, I will make sure to recruit him for some time to come hang out with everybody to talk scary stuff. But I will leave while he's there for that. I'm not even staying. Not even staying. So yeah, there are some haunted hotels too, Ollie. The one that I'm thinking of would not be. Absolutely would not be. Um, but okay, guys, we have both sewn our blocks and we've sewn our rows. I know, Rita. I'm such a buzzkill. But we've sewn our rows. So we're going to go ahead and call it a night for tonight. We've been on almost an hour, but we're going to go ahead and call it a night. And we will be back 1 week from today, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 Central. So please don't forget the link is
Make sure to
already.
give a thumbs up, guys.
Yes, please hit that thumbs up. Please, 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 please. And if you've not checked out Cathy's channel, please make sure you click over. The link is in the description box below the video. Click over to Cathy's channel as well. Like, subscribe, and give her a thumbs up. And on a couple of videos, give her some appropriate comments. No inappropriate ones, because then I get to come find you. But give her some appropriate comments. Brighten her day as well. And don't forget,
That's okay. If you leave inappropriate comments, my moderator won't let it come through.
there you go. There you go. All right. So July 29th is Super Chat giveaway night, as well as Christmas in July quilt auction. So keep that in mind. If you've not hit your notifications, turn those on for those videos, please. And turn the video notifications on for the next 3 Thursdays, because you don't want to miss the end of this series as we get our Land That I Love quilts completely done, and we give you up close pictures and video and all of that of our quilts, as much as we were able to do. So we will do what we can. So thank you for being here. Have a great afternoon or evening, and we will see you later. Hey, Cathy, glad you're here. Cathy's Quilts and Crafts just stopped in. You got a lot of replay to watch, Cathy. All right, so I will see you guys.